So in this lecture we are moving on to the steady state radial flow into a well. So we are going to derive the equations for the steady state radial flow in both the confined as well as unconfined aquifer. Before moving on to the derivation of the equation, we have to see what are the assumptions before that. For every equation which we are deriving in our day-to-day life, for a practical case, we will assume several things. So this equation has certain assumptions by which the equations are derived. So that assumptions are known as Dupuit-Forchheimer assumptions because it is derived by two scientists named Dupuit as well as Forchheimer. So the first assumption is the flow is horizontal and uniform. So the flow into the well should be horizontal as well as it should be uniform. Second thing is the velocity of flow is proportional to the tangent of the hydraulic gradient. That is, the velocity is directly proportional to the hydraulic gradient tangent. Now the third one is aquifer is homogeneous. Homogeneous means the properties of the aquifer will not change at any point. Isotropic means the properties of the aquifer are same in all the directions. And infinitarial extent. Fourth assumption is well penetrates fully. Fully penetration of the well should be there. And fifth one is equilibrium. Pumping is so adjusted that equilibrium stage exists. And the final one is the flow is laminar and therefore it follows Darcy's law. So these are the 6 assumptions by which the equations are derived. Now we are moving on to the steady state groundwater flow in a confined aquifer. Confined aquifer, as we all know, the top as well as bottom layers are confined using an impermeable layer. So the water will be pressurized inside that. Now we'll show a figure to you that the thickness of the aquifer will be B, and the steady state flow or discharge will be Q, and the original piezometry head, that is the static head of water, will be capital H, and the drawdown due to pumping should be indicated in that particular figure. And the piezometric head at the pumping well is HW, and the drawdown in that particular well is SW. So we'll see the figure now. So this is a figure. Here you can see this is the confined aquifer. Its total thickness is B. The total amount of water inside that well is capital H. That is, this is the piezometric level of that well. Now when pumping starts, the level of water in the well decreases, and this is known as the drawdown in the well. That is represented by the letter SW. Okay, so it forms a cone of depression here. At this cone, at this point, the drawdown is S1, where the head of water is H1, and at this point the drawdown is S2 and the head of water is H2. So at this point if you are choosing, the drawdown is S and the head of water is capital H. The drawdown plus the head of water will give the total head of water, total static head of water, or piezometric level of the particular aquifer. Now this radius of this particular aquifer is RW, so the total diameter is 2 into RW, and here the radius of influence is given by capital R. This is the radius of influence. The distance between center of the well and this point will be the radius of influence. Okay, that's it. Now R1 is the distance from the center of the well to this point. R2 is the distance from the center of well to this point. Okay, so these are the things which we have to know. And now before derivation we have to know one thing. The velocity is directly, since Darcy's law is valid, we have to say that the velocity is directly proportional to the hydraulic gradient. That is one of the assumptions of the derivation, so we can apply Darcy's law here. So Vr is equal to K into I. Darcy's law states that velocity of flow through a porous medium is directly proportional to the hydraulic gradient. Here B directly proportional to I, that is dH by dr. dH by dr is nothing but the hydraulic gradient radius, and K is the constant of proportionality, which is equal to the hydraulic conductivity. So Darcy's law is valid. There is a clear figure here. The same things are given here also. You can just compare both the figures. Now V is equal to K V is equal to K into I. Okay, now the area of the cylindrical surface through which this velocity occurs, that is the area of cross section through which the flow occurs, is this one. Okay, this is the area of cross section. When we are cutting this sectionally, we will get the area of cross section. That will be a cylindrical in shape, that is 2 pi. So here you can see, so this will be the cylindrical surface through which this velocity occurs. So water will enter to this point, and this is the cylindrical surface. We are considering this as a cylindrical surface. here you can see this water comes here and it will reach the well and it will enter into this well. So the velocity occurs through the cylindrical portion. So we have to find the area of that cylindrical portion. It will be equal to 2 pi r, that is cross sectional area, into b. So this can be considered as a total cylinder. The total flow occurs through this cylinder part. Okay, so area of the cylinder, surface area of the cylinder is 2 pi r into h. H is nothing but the b is the thickness of the aquifer. So 2 pi r into b is the area. Now by continuity equation, q is equal to a into v. So we can say that a is 2 pi r into b into v. V is nothing but, or as per Darcy's law, it is k into dh by dr. So you'll rearranging this, you'll get q by 2 pi kb dr by r is equal to dh. Now what we are going to do is we are going to integrate this equation to the limit r1 and r2 correspondingly to h1 and h2. When r1 is the radius, h1 is the head. When r2 is the radius, h2 is the head. So we are applying this limit and integrating this equation, you will get this one. So integral 1 by r will be equal to log r. Okay, so integrating that, log r, r1 to r2, integral dh will give you h. Integrating that to h1 to h2. So you'll get the final equation as q by 2 pi kb ln r2 minus ln r1 is equal to h2 minus h1. ln r2 minus ln r1 will be equal to ln r2 by r1. So you'll get it like this. Now the equation for q can be rearranged as 2 pi kb into h2 minus h1 divided by ln r2 by r1. ln is nothing but natural logarithm. So this is the equilibrium equation for the steady flow in a confined aquifer. It is very simple to derive. This equation is otherwise known as Thiem's equation. Thiem. A scientist known as Thiem has derived this equation, so it is known as Thiem's equation. Now in this case, there is a letter K into B. K is hydraulic conductivity and B is the thickness of the aquifer. When these two multiply together, you will get transmissivity of the aquifer, T. So Kb is equal to T. So we can rewrite this equation as 2 pi T into h2 minus h1 divided by ln r2 by r1. Now another thing you have to notice, this h2, capital H2, I mean small letter h2 will be equal to, I have already told you that h2 plus h2 s2 will be equal to capital H. Total head will be equal to head of water plus drawdown. So from that you will get s2 is equal to h minus h2. Similarly h1 will be equal to, s1 is equal to h minus h1. From that equation you will get s1. So substituting these values of s1, these values in this equation, that is for h1 and h2 we are substituting these values, you will get this within bracket you will get it as s1 minus s2. While substituting you will get it right. So 2 pi t s1 minus s2 divided by ln r2 by r1 will be equal to q. So this is the final equation, you can say. Now another extreme case comes when S2 is equal to 0, that is drawdown is equal to 0. Drawdown is equal to 0 at which stage? In the figure I can show you. When drawdown is equal to 0, so at this stage drawdown will be equal to 0. Drawdown will be equal to 0 because this is the static water level. And what is this point? R will be equal to capital R, that is the radius of influence. So at radius of influence the drawdown will be equal to 0. So we are applying that limit here, and the minimum limit we are applying is at drawdown is equal to SW, that is inside the well. Drawdown is equal to SW, R is equal to RW, that is radius of the well. So that two limits we are applying here. From S2 is equal to 0, R2 is equal to R, when H2 is equal to H and H2 is equal to H, and R1 is equal to RW, H1 is equal to HW, S1 is equal to SW. So this is the case of the well, and this is the case at the point where radius of influence occur. So when these two limits we are applying in equation 2, you will get the final equation as this one. So this equation can also be used when we are considering radius of influence and the radius of the well together. Okay, that's it. So this is about the steady state flow into a confined aquifer. Certain problems are given here. That problems you can work out. Problem 2, problem 3. Now we are moving on to the Another important thing to be noted is the discharge increases linearly with drawdown when other factors remain constant. Okay, that is the inference you'll get from that particular equation. Now we are moving on to steady state groundwater flow in unconfined aquifer. There are certain assumptions also here. Here also there are certain assumptions. For small inclinations of the free surface, the stream lines can be assumed to be horizontal and the equipotentials vertical. Hydraulic gradient is equal to the slope of the free surface and does not vary with depth. These are some specific assumptions in case of unconfined aquifer. Now all the previous assumptions are practicable here, applied can be applicable here also. Okay, again we are moving on to the same procedure. As per Darcy's law, we'll get K is equal to Vr is equal to K into dH by dr. That is, velocity of flow through a porous medium is directly proportional to the hydraulic gradient. Instead of proportionality, we are putting K as a constant. K is the hydraulic conductivity. Now the only difference here is the derivation is similar to that of steady state in confined aquifer, but the only things here is that we are considering an unconfined aquifer. That means the thickness is not a constant. Here the thickness, instead of the thickness, we are taking H. H is the maximum level. That is, earlier it was piezometric level. In this case, it is the water table level. So that is taken as the thickness of the aquifer. So we have to consider that H also while integrating. We have to consider H also while integrating. That's the thing. Earlier it was a constant. Instead of H, we have put B. B was the thickness of the aquifer and it was a constant. We have not taken it for integration. That's the only difference here. Now this is a clear picture of that. You can just take that. So as by the equation of continuity, Q is equal to A into V, area into velocity. Here area is equal to 2 pi r into H. 2 pi r into, actually this is capital H only, I'm sorry for that. Okay, this is capital H only. So 2 pi r into H into Vr. Now we are rearranging the equation and we are integrating it. While integrating, we will get it like this, and we are applying the limit r1 to r2, h1 to h2. Here integral h dh, we will get h square. While integrating, all the other things are same, so we'll get the final equation as Q is equal to pi k h2 square minus h1 square divided by ln r2 by r1. So this is the equation or equilibrium equation for the unconfined aquifer. Okay, and applying the extreme limits, that is the from the well to the radius of influence, if you are applying the limits, you will get the final equation as this. Okay, that's it. Now in general, values of R in the range of 300 to 500 can be assumed depending on the type of the aquifer and operation conditions of a well. We can assume the value 300 to 500 normally. Some approximations are made for that equation. That is, drawdown in the well can be written as capital H minus HW. Okay, also h square minus hw square can be written as h plus hw, h minus hw. So this can be read as a square minus b square is equal to a plus b into a minus b. So here, since this h minus hw is equal to drawdown, that is SW, this h plus h you can take it as 2h, because this HW is approximately equal to capital H. HW is nothing but the height of water in the well. So since the drawdown is very much less, we can say that both are equal. So we are taking it as 2h. So 2h SW, and T is equal to K into H will be equal to T, that is transmissivity. Hydraulic conductivity into thickness of the aquifer will give you transmissivity. When we are applying these two values in the above equation, you will get the final equation as Q is equal to 2 pi T SW divided by ln R by RW. So this is the final equation you can use. Again, as in the previous case, we can put drawdown also instead of the previous one. Drawdown equation can also be derived. That is, instead of h1 we can put s1. Okay, like that. Okay, that thing you can calculate it. So this is the final equation. This equation can also be used in case if drawdowns are given to you. So again, some problems are there. So this is over, I think. So with this we have finished this lecture. Thank you.